Borley Rectory in Essex is said to be one of the most haunted places in all of England. It was built in 1862 to house the rector of the parish of Borley and his family. The rectory was built on Hall Road near Borley Church by the Reverend Henry Dawson Ellis Bull. The house replaced an earlier rectory on the site that had been destroyed by fire in 1841. It was soon enlarged by the addition of a wing to house Bull's family of 14 children. The remains of the nearby church that was built prior to Borley Rectory is said to possibly date all the way back to the 12th century. Many ghost hunters and paranormal investigators believe the hauntings began because of Benedictine monastery, which was on the site of the rectory, which was built in the year 1362. It's believed by many that a monk from the monastery and a nun from the nearby convent began an affair. When they were discovered, the monk was immediately hung and the nun was walled up behind a brick wall at the rectory. There is no direct proof of this ever happening, but many have claimed to see the ghost of the nun on the grounds. The first known hauntings began as early as 1863. 4 of Henry Dawson Ellis Bull's daughters saw what they believed to be a nun approaching them. As the nun got closer and closer, they claimed that it simply vanished into thin air. Many people claim to have witnessed a variety of strange and frightening events, such as a phantom coach driven by 2 headless horsemen over the next 4 decades. Bull died in 1892 and his son, the Reverend Henry Foister Bull, W.H. was called Harry, took over soon after. Harry died in 1927. By October of 1928, the Reverend Guy Eric Smith and his wife moved in. Not long after moving in, Smith's wife, while cleaning out a cupboard, came across a brown paper package containing what she believed to be the skull of a young woman. Almost immediately, all sorts of paranormal activity began to happen, including such things as servants' bells ringing when they were disconnected, strange voices and footsteps, lights appearing in windows where there shouldn't have been any, but strangest of all, Smith's wife even saw the phantom horse-drawn carriage at night, which had to be a very frightening sight to see. The Smiths contacted the Society for Psychical Research and brought in paranormal researcher Harry Price. He too began to experience strange things, such as the throwing of stones, a vase and other objects. Spirit messages were tapped out from the frame of a mirror. As soon as Price left, these ceased. Smith's wife later maintained that she already suspected Price, an expert conjurer, of falsifying the phenomena. Regardless, the Smiths had had enough of both the real and fabricated ghosts and left the rectory in July of 1929. By 1930, Borley Rectory had found its newest resident in the Reverend Lionel Algernon Foister and his wife Marian, along with their daughter Adeline. Foister was a cousin to the former rectory Reverend Bull, who was the first resident of the rebuilt rectory. Within 5 years, they too were seeking out the help of Harry Price. They reported many of the same things the former residents had went through, like bells ringing, windows shattering, strange voices and footsteps, lights where there shouldn't be, and even their daughter being locked in her room. Soon, more investigators were brought in and it was determined that many of the so-called hauntings were caused by the Reverend Foister's wife. She later admitted that she had indeed fabricated certain events to cover up for an affair she was having. They moved shortly after. By 1937, Harry Price decided that since the rectory was now officially vacant, now would be a great time to move in and find a team of experts to get to the bottom of the whole haunted mess. He ran ads in local papers and didn't want to find just anyone. He wanted people who were of a scientific mind frame and that didn't just jump to conclusions and think it was ghosts, but who would be skeptical enough to search out all reasonable possibilities. When he found his team, he soon moved in. The first thing he did when he moved in, was hold a seance where he claims he contacted 2 spirits. The first was a young lady who said she had been a nun and that her name was Marie Lair. She claims she was murdered in a building on the rectory grounds and that her body was buried in the cellar or thrown into a disused well. The other spirit was Sunex Amures. No other explanation was given of who he was, but he was said to have been a vengeful spirit, and he claimed during the seance that he would burn the rectory down and that they would find the bones of a murdered person that evening. The house didn't burn down, that night anyway. However, in February of 1939, the newest rectory owner, Captain W.H. Gregson, was unpacking boxes and accidentally knocked over an oil lamp. The fire did extensive damage throughout the home, but the insurance company wouldn't pay out. They concluded that the fire had been intentionally set, Either way, Harry Price returned to investigate the prior allegations of the spirit who claimed that a fire would reveal the bones of someone murdered. It did. Human remains were found buried in the basement, which were later given a proper burial. What do you think? Was Borley Rectory haunted? Was it a hoax, or maybe a little of both? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, please help our channel grow by liking our videos, subscribing, and we'd love for you to check out our online store in the description box. Pick up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or hoodie. It helps us out a lot since YouTube has demonetized many channels that deal with our type of content. Thanks again. Till next time.